A British man is ordered to pay United Airlines $20,000 after causing a flight to be diverted. NASA prepares for storms on Mars, and the safest airline in America might surprise you. All that and more today on the Verrier Morning Departures. Our top story today. A British man is ordered to pay United Airlines $20,000 for causing a flight to be diverted. ABC News reports the charges stem from a March 1st flight that departed from London when passenger Alexander Michael Dominic MacDonald, age 30, quote, began arguing with his traveling companion and causing a disturbance, according to a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office. When the flight attendants asked MacDonald to be quiet and attempted to calm him, he became belligerent, threatening, and intimidating towards them, prosecutors said. Despite an international person on board the flight attempting to intervene, MacDonald continued to be belligerent and intimidating toward the official as well. In the release, the DOJ noted that MacDonald threatened to, quote, mess up the plane amid the altercation. Due to the continued disturbance, the flight crew restrained MacDonald in flex cuffs and the flight diverted from the original destination of Newark, New Jersey to Bangor, Maine. When the flight landed in Maine, MacDonald and his companion were removed from the aircraft and arrested by local officials, United Airlines said in a statement at the time. The airline also noted that both passengers appeared to be intoxicated during the altercation. The U.S. District Court in Bangor sentenced MacDonald to time served after being in custody since the March 1st incident and ordered him to pay United Airlines $20,638 in reimbursement for the flight diversion. In astronomy news, NASA prepares for intense sunstorms on Mars during solar maximum, Space.com reports. Two NASA spacecraft will pay special attention to increasing levels of radiation that bombard Mars during this year's approaching solar maximum to better prepare astronauts for future missions to the Red Planet. Every 11 years or so, the Sun experiences a peak in activity known as the solar maximum due to its strong and constantly shifting magnetic fields. During this period of the solar cycle, the frequency and intensity of sunspots on the solar surface increases, generating solar flares and coronal mass ejections that send powerful streams of solar radiation out into deep space. While Earth's magnetic field largely shields the planet from the effects of such solar storms, Mars is not afforded the same protections because the red planet lost its global magnetic field long ago. As a result, Mars, along with any resident spacecraft or future crewed mission to the planet, is more vulnerable to intense solar activity. That's why NASA's MAVEN Mars Atmosphere and Volatile Evolution Orbiter and Curiosity rover will team up to study the solar particles and radiation streaming towards Mars from both high above the planet and its surface, according to a statement from the space agency. Together, both spacecraft study the quantity of solar particles that reach Mars and how energetic they are. Curiosity's Radiation Assessment Detector instrument measures how the planet's thin atmosphere affects the intensity of the particles that reach the Martian surface, as well as how radiation breaks down carbon-based molecules on the surface, from which researchers can infer how much protection astronauts exploring Mars may require. In general aviation news, 3 people are injured after a Piper PA-28 suffered a crash landing. General Aviation News reports. Upon arrival at the airport, the reported wind was from 220 degrees at 10 knots. As a pilot approached runway 15 in the Piper PA-28, he chose to fly a faster approach speed to allow for a quicker go-around if needed. He stated that as he touched down, a gust of wind pushed the airplane off the runway toward the hangar. Although he knew he hit ground signs, he attempted to go around but was unable to avoid the hangar in front of him, and he hit it with the left wing. The pilot later stated that he was unable to maintain control of the airplane during the landing and a go-around attempt. Video surveillance of the accident showed the airplane cross the runway threshold and remain airborne until past the first taxiway and appeared to touch down near the second taxiway before it bounced. It then exited the left side of the runway into a ditch where the landing gear hit a sign. The airplane then pitched up consistent with an attempted go-around and hit a building. The airplane sustained substantial damage to the fuselage and both wings, and the pilot along with the 2 passengers sustained serious injuries. The probable cause was the pilot's failure to maintain directional control during landing, which resulted in a runway excursion. In travel news, Alaska Airlines ranked best in America, and Spirit was ranked safest, Fodor's travel reports. What's the safest airline in the United States? Surprisingly, it's the much maligned Spirit Airlines. And the best airline overall? Also surprisingly, it's Alaska Airlines, whose plug door blowout kickstarted the many Boeing investigations. To determine this year's best airline rankings, WaltHub analyzed the 9 largest airlines along with a regional airline across 13 metrics: canceled flights, delays, mishandled baggage, denied boardings, legroom, entertainment, Wi-Fi, complimentary refreshments, price, fatal injuries and aviation accidents, injuries and incidents and accidents, aviation incidents, and fleet age. Based on these metrics, it scored the airlines to examine the safest, most reliable, most comfortable, most affordable, and the best overall. Delta Airlines has been a frontrunner in the Wallet Hub rankings for the last 2 years, but Alaska has toppled that crown this year. It achieved a score of 68.07 out of 100 and performed well on most metrics apart from price and mishandled luggage. Its recent aviation incidents costed some points, but overall, Wallet Hub proclaims it as the best airline in the US, beating Delta 61.56 and United 51.96. According to Wallet Hub, the second best airline is regional carrier SkyWest, which serves American Airlines, Delta, Alaska, and United. It scored 65.96 on metrics. Low-cost Spirit Airlines scored third on the list, beating legacy carriers Delta and American and United. In fact, the most often mocked Spirit is also ranked as the safest airline in the US and the most affordable too. Although Spirit doesn't have the best reputation, year after year it has been named the worst airline in the country, and passengers are often wary of traveling with the budget airline. News about fights on board, and in one case mysterious liquid flowing down the aisle, haven't helped in reassuring customers. Spirit scores well on all safety-related metrics. It has a perfect score on fleet age and reported no fatalities or injuries due to aviation incidents and accidents. It also scored the highest when it came to aviation accidents, 4.07 out of 6. Alaska Airlines, despite the January door plug blowout, is the runner-up on safety, while Southwest falls short on the safety metric, backing the 10th position overall on these airline rankings. The full Wallet Hub ranking for the top 3 is Alaska Airlines at number 1, SkyWest Airlines at number 2, and Spirit Airlines at number 3. Meanwhile, the bottom 3 are American Airlines at 8, Frontier Airlines at 9, and Southwest at 10.